this is a very pretty photo album. Can you see that there? You can see the reflection of my ring light. But this photo album has been lent to me by a family member who went to Toronto about 14 years ago to visit their cousin, and they took photographs while they were there of Toronto and also the lakeside cottage that their cousin had. And she's lent me the photo album to share some of the photographs with you, and she's also lent me a book of Toronto. It's really like a tourist guidebook, and this is quite old. I think it's from the 90s, but was revised about 16 years ago. So it does look a little bit dated, but there are some nice photographs in there too. Now, I'll come back to this a little later. But in the album, there are some photographs of places that I am very fortunately going to be visiting later this year. This is why I have the album, because I will be visiting Toronto and I'm going to be doing the touristy things, of course, like Niagara Falls and the CN Tower, and checking out some of the museums and the waterfront. There's so many things I want to do. But also, while I'm there, I'm going to be meeting the lovely Eddie ASMR. Now, many of you, I'm sure, will have seen Eddie's channel, and you probably would have seen the collab videos that we've made, and also I send Eddie some boxes now and again of British goodies and Cadbury chocolate, which he likes, and I know it's not so cheap to get over in Canada. And also he sent me some Canadian goodies, and we've made videos of these for our channel, so you may well have seen them. And I'm so grateful for Eddie's friendship, but we've actually not ever met yet, because obviously I'm in the UK and he's over in Canada, and it's quite a long way away. So that's going to be another really exciting part of the trip too. So it's been really nice for me to look at these photographs, although they're quite old now. It'll be nice to get a picture of the things in here and then see how they've changed. So I also thought that the album made a nice sound as well. So, and I have had permission to show these photos. Because the album is heavy, it'll be better if I remove the photographs to show you, because they're probably going to fall out if I hold it up, and it might not look so good. So this picture is of the lakeside cottage, which is on Little Bald Lake. I'm not entirely sure where that is, but it sounds delightful, doesn't it? Little Bald Lake. So that's the cottage there. Isn't that beautiful? I quite fancy living there myself. It looks very idyllic and peaceful. And I do believe that they had that cottage built for them, so they owned it from brand new, which would have been lovely, wouldn't it? And this is a view from the lower veranda at the cottage. I could quite happily wake up to that every morning, although not every morning would be as nice as that weather-wise, I'm sure, because we all know that Canada can get quite cold in the winter. So let me see what else. And this is a boathouse, which is opposite the lakeside cottage. Can you see that there? Some of these photographs are a little faded now, or they were quite pale when processed, so I hope they're showing up well. Let's see what else we've got. Oh, now this is taken from the ferry going to Toronto Island, which is something that I really want to do, and it's a Chinese junk. You can see that there on the water. I don't know how often you see those on the water there, but it's nice to see. And this is the garden at the Toronto Islands. And it was one of the family members' birthdays when this was taken, so they had a nice trip to the gardens. There we go. And that was in June 2005. So this is the waterfront, as taken from the island or the boat. I'm not sure how much it would have changed, but it will be interesting to see. And here's some well-known images. There's two here. There we go. It says Toronto in the smog, the CN Tower from Toronto Islands in June 2005. It's quite a pale photograph because it's obviously not a very clear day, but there's the landmark CN Tower. And I can't wait to go up that tower and have some food. I believe they do some nice meals up there, and you get a meal with a view. It revolves, so that should be nice. And here's another photograph. Ontario Waterfront and CN Tower, 14th June 2005. So there we go. There's the waterfront photograph there with the CN Tower. I'm just having a look through to see what might be of interest. Oh, here's a superb view from the CN Tower. And this is Toronto as viewed from the tower. Isn't that amazing? I guess if you live in Toronto and you've been up the tower, you've seen it all before. Or if you've obviously visited and done it, but I'm not a lover of heights, to be fair, but I think you can't go to Toronto and not go to the CN Tower, so I'm going to be brave and go up there, because I really would like to see that view for myself, although it might make me a little bit wobbly. And here's another view from the CN Tower. There we go. I can't wait to see aircraft taking off from the Billy Bishop Airport. I love planes, so I'm hoping for some good weather to sit there and watch the planes coming and going. I love that. What else have we got? Some beautiful little houses here. Okay. So this is Niagara. And obviously the beautiful falls are. So there's the Sheraton Hotel. This was 2005 also. So can you see the Sheraton there? I wonder how different that hotel looks these days, if it does. And here's some beautiful photographs of the falls. Apparently this is the American side of the falls. So it says the American Falls, Niagara, about 80 miles west of Toronto. I'm glad it says this on the back of the photographs because I wouldn't have a clue how far away that was from Toronto, so I'm happy about that. And this is the Canadian side of the falls. There's a boat, I think. Is it called the Maid of the Mist, where you can sort of go round the falls on the boat, which would be amazing. I hopefully I'll be able to do that. And this is the Canadian Falls, so that's the Canadian side of Niagara Falls. Hopefully get a nice day to go and visit that. I don't think I'd quite fancy it if the weather wasn't too good. So this is I love these photographs. Oh, here we go. Here's the Maid of the Mist, that boat I just mentioned. Actually, on the Canadian Falls there. Wow. Gosh, I bet that's incredible. There we are, so that's can you see that there, the Maid of the Mist? There's the boat, and there's the beautiful falls there. It's quite blown out photograph, overexposed really, but you can see that there. It's so beautiful. And here's, oh, this is so stunning. Top of Canadian Falls, Niagara. There we go. So that's the top of the falls. Can you see that there? Yeah. There we go. Let's see what else we have. Let's have a look. What have we got? Oh, Niagara by the Lake Village. Let's see. See what's on this photo. Looks like a little spirit store there, and a beautiful horse-drawn cart, which I presume that you are able to have a little ride on because there are some people on that there. So look at that. I wonder if they still operate that now, 14 years later. That is the Niagara by the Lake Village. Be interesting to find out, wouldn't it? I really can't wait to visit. Wow. This is interesting. It says on the back of this photograph, fancy seeing one of these. and it's the Niagara London Routemaster bus. How adorable. Just look at that. Nice London double-decker bus there. It says Fulham, Chelsea, Victoria, Charing Cross, Fleet Street, Bank, Liverpool Street Station. That's so adorable. I mean, I know in London you can get on these buses, they have open top double-decker buses and they give you a tour of London, but that's really nice to see that in Canada. There's some beautiful houses here. I'm not sure where they are though. Pioneer Village Tinsmith's Shop and Meeting House, Black Creek Masonic Lodge. I'll show you this. Side view, Tinsmith's Shop, Black Creek Pioneer Village. I don't know how far away that is from the downtown Toronto area, but it's very pretty. And there's a doctor's house. That's so cute. Side of doctor's house, Black Creek Pioneer Village. Just being gentle putting these back in. Don't want to damage anything. There's something. This really interested me, and unfortunately, I'm not entirely sure where this is, but it's an Indian settlement village. And I don't know if it's still there or indeed where it is. So if anybody knows where it is, then leave me a comment, because that would be amazing to see. Can you see the... There you are. Just says Indian settlement village. So we've seen the views from the CN Tower. This is Toronto Island's water can fountains. I'm not sure if these are a permanent thing or whether they were there for a certain amount of time and no longer there. Children's Garden, apparently this is in the Toronto Islands, 2005. That's so cute. There's like a row of watering cans there, just with the water coming out. I bet that sounds lovely. So I think that's most of the photos of places in Toronto that are in here. But I just thought I'd share it because it's so beautiful. And they do make nice sounds, don't they, these photo albums? So, also, I have this book. Now, even the design of this looks quite dated now, as I said, but let's see what's in it. Well, the first page is obviously that wonderful landmark photograph of the CN Tower there. I don't know, can you see that? There we go. And I think that's the photograph from the front cover of the book. It says, Toronto is a vibrant, exciting city with a multitude of sights to see and places to go. Ooh, this looks really cold. Yonge Street, Toronto's main street, is busy rain or shine, sleet or snow. A safe and interesting place to take a walk night or day. And it's really snowing there, which I guess if you are living in that area, you would be used to that each winter. I saw the temperatures in Canada this winter, and you know, some like minus 20 something in the daytime, and I can't really imagine what that feels like, because obviously I was born and always lived in the UK, and daytime temperatures don't tend to get like that here, so I think I'd be pretty cold. So this is Toronto's Old City Hall, University College at the University of Toronto. Let's just make sure you can see those there. There's that one. And that would be the University College at the University of Toronto. Now, Casa Loma. I've seen some of this on one of Eddie's vlogs. Eddie has a vlog channel. Eddie makes videos. I'll put a link to that and his ASMR channel below. But it's a beautiful place. It says, on the brow of a hill overlooking Toronto, the striking silhouette of a massive castle stirs the imagination. Based on a lifelong fascination with European castles, Sir Henry Pellet, a stock market millionaire, borrowed the most pleasing elements of Norman, Gothic and Romanesque styles to create Casa Loma in 1914 at a cost of $3 million. Both formal and informal gardens adorn the beautifully landscaped grounds, beckoning visitors on a leisurely stroll through this splendid 6-acre estate. At every turn, your senses are delighted by dancing fountains, unusual sculptures, and the dazzling, ever-changing colours of a Canadian garden. That looks amazing. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think you can actually like have marriages there, and events there. I'm pretty sure you can. I mean, it's pretty beautiful. So I would have thought many people would perhaps like to have a celebration or a marriage there. Let's see what else we've got. So there's a CN Tower and some Canada geese. We get lots of those over here. They fly over quite often over my house, and there's a field close to me which was absolutely full of Canada geese several weeks ago. So there's the CN Tower and there's some geese there. I'm just seeing what you can see. I'll bring that in a little bit more. There's the tower. I can't wait to see it all lit up at night, the waterfront there and all the lights. I love that kind of thing, and I love being close to the water too. So there's a double page view of Toronto. There's a nice aerial view there. And I think that must be Billy Bishop Airport. I'm sure it is. It looks like an airport there. So I shall be positioning myself somewhere around here and watching those planes all being well. So let's see what else we've got. Another thing I'm really interested in is trying foods, different restaurants. You can't go on holiday and deny yourself some good food, can you? And of course, one of the first things I want to try is poutine. I hope I've said that correctly. Every time I see poutine, it just looks amazing. So I really want to try that. For those of you that aren't really sure what it is, I believe it's fries, or chips as we call them in the UK, which are covered in brown gravy and cheese curds, but also there are many variations on this where they put bits of other things in with it as well. So I've seen it with like bacon and spring onions and lots of lovely things in it. So I'm definitely going to be trying that as soon as I can after I've arrived. So I'll be relying on my Canadian friends to tell me where the best places are to get poutine. I know you can get them in fast food restaurants there, like I think McDonald's, KFC, they sell poutine, which, you know, is nice, but obviously they don't do that over here. So I shall wait till I get there and try it in the place where it originated. Oh, and this is somewhere I really want to visit too, Kensington Market in Yorkville. Looks so lovely. Some beautiful places to visit. So I know that there's plenty of museums as well, so that'll be something else, and you know, to visit, look at the art and things. That'll be really lovely. Maple Leaf Gardens, the Toronto Blue Jays at the Sky Dome. Maple Leaf Gardens, Sky Dome there, Toronto Blue Jays. I don't know anything about sport particularly, so I can't really make many comments on that, but that's certainly a packed stadium. Let's just see. There's some pictures of Royal Alexandra Theatre, and it's got Les Mis showing there. That's very pretty. And what have we got here? More theatres. Gosh, there's quite a few places to go and see shows, which is nice. The Royal Ontario Museum. Thousands of visitors come to see the Egyptian mummies. Arms and armour, costumes and textiles can be found at the ROM. So there's another place I'll definitely be visiting. See there. This is actually a nice little book. Whether there's more modern versions of it, I'm guessing there will be, but there's some shops. Sears, is that still a thing? I'm not sure it is. With 1 million square feet of retail floor space and over 300 stores, the Eaton Center has become one of the world's busiest shopping complexes and tourist attractions located in the heart of the city, and I do want to visit this. Again, I saw it in one of Eddie's vlogs, the Eaton Center. I'm sure it's obviously been revamped a little bit since this book was made, but there's see us there. And there's the inside of the Eaton Center, can you see? And there's the Canada geese there, which I think is lovely. I love the way that they're just sort of made to look like they're flying around, and that's so pretty. But it'll be interesting to see how it is today. Street vendors. I love to visit street vendors. And here are some food places. There's the old fish market. And this is where I'll be arriving into the Leicester B. Pearson International Airport. I think the flight's about seven and a half hours maybe, give or take a little bit, so it's quite a journey. But as I said, I'm so excited, and it can't come quick enough really, although I've got a little while to wait yet. So, and this is a view of Toronto. I think there's a photograph similar to this in the album, but Toronto is seen from the islands. And there's some boaters there just having a little relax. I so love being by water, so it's going to be great. So I think that's it, but what a lovely little book. I shall spend some more time looking at this and reading up on a few things. When I go away, I'm not so keen on having itinerised holidays where I have to be at a certain place on a certain day and a certain time. I like to decide where to go and say, right, do that today or perhaps tomorrow, but I never go on holidays where there are trips that are pre-arranged. I just like to see what I'd like to do on the day. So I'd like to say thank you to Jenny for lending me these and allowing me to share them with you. And what will be lovely is when I return from my trip is to perhaps have a chat with you about the things that I did in Toronto, and I'll have some photographs, I'm sure, or I would have picked up some souvenirs or some more little books, and to actually give you an update on how I found my trip. I'd like to do that anyway. So I hope you've enjoyed this, sharing a few little photographs and a little ramble about a place that I've not yet visited. And I'll obviously update you when I've been. So thanks for watching. Take care. I'll see you very soon.